Good morning, everyone. Day before yesterday, as we studied that how we get wool from wool fibers. So today I am going to start new topic of chapter 3, that is silk. In this we will discuss many topics like something about silk, life history of silk moth. This life cycle of silk moth is very important question as a long. So we will read this in detail. Stepwise we will discuss the life cycle of silk moth. So first of all we will see what is silk. Silk fibers are called animal fibers. Why we call it animal fibers? Because we get it from an insect. Is it clear? So silk is a natural fiber obtained from an insect. The name of that insect is silk moth. So silk fibers are also called animal fibers because we get it from an insect, and the name of that insect is silk moth. The rearing of silkworms for obtaining silk is called sericulture, and this is sericulture. Sericulture means silk farming. The farming of silk is called sericulture. Now I want to tell you something about sericulture. The rearing of silkworm for obtaining silk is called sericulture. As I told you, sericulture is a very old occupation in India. Okay? India produces a lot of silk on commercial scale. Before we discuss the process of obtaining silk, it is very necessary to know the interesting life cycle of silk moth. So now we will I hope you understood what is silk, why it is called that animal fiber, and what is sericulture. In simple way, sericulture is a silk farming. So now the main topic is life history of silk moth. So in your book it is given as a paragraph, but I will tell you in stepwise what happens first, then in step second what happens. So I will tell you this in steps. In first step, that you are you watching male and female silkworms? So this female silk moth lays eggs on this mulberry leaves. You can see the life cycle in your book also, and you will find that male and female silk moths are there, and from these female one gives eggs on this mulberry leaves. These eggs are hatched into very small larvae within a week. The larvae of silk moth are called caterpillar or silkworm. You can see it is also called caterpillar, this silk moth. So understood this? Female silk moth lays eggs on mulberry leaves, and these eggs are hatched into larvae and within a week, and these larvae of silk moth are called silkworm. The silkworm feed on the leaves of mulberry tree and grow bigger in size. This silkworm feed these leaves and grow bigger in size day by day. Now we will see E portion. It is written cocoon. So in this now step is changed. The second step is development of cocoon. When the silkworm is ready to enter the next stage of development, that is called pupa. This stage is called pupa when silk moth produces cocoon. around itself. See what happens, how this cocoon is formed or developed. See, first of all, this silk, that caterpillar or silkworm, weaves a net to hold itself. Then it swings its head from side to side. During this movement of head, the silkworm secretes fiber made up of protein, which hardens on exposure of air and becomes silk fiber. And this fiber is which hardens on exposure of air and becomes silk fiber. Soon the silkworm covers itself by silk fiber. This cocoon covering is the covering of silk fiber, and this stage is called pupa stage. So when the caterpillar starts moving its head side to side, that time it secretes a fiber made up of protein, and when this fiber comes or exposed into air, and that time it becomes silk fiber, and this silk fiber is called that cocoon, and the stage is called pupa. Okay, and understood this silk fiber, the layer of silk fiber, that is cocoon. Now this cocoon develop into silk moth. Inside this, the silkworm which is inside the cocoon, that later develops into silk moth. I hope you understood the life cycle of silk moth. Now once we will do reading according to book. The female silk moth lays egg from which hatch larvae, which are called caterpillars or silkworms. They grow in size, and when the caterpillar is ready to enter the next stage of its life cycle is called pupa. It first weaves a net to hold itself, then it swings its head from side to side in the form of figure of 8. During this movement of head, the caterpillar secretes fibers made up of a protein, which hardens on exposure to air and becomes silk fiber. Soon the caterpillar completely covers its body by silk fiber and turns into pupa stage. This covering is called cocoon. Till here we have discussed according to diagram that first female silkworm that lays eggs, then these eggs convert into silkworm, and this silkworm secretes protein like secretion, and on exposure to air or sunlight it converts into cocoon, and then from this cocoon, inside this cocoon there is silkworm which converts into silk moth later. So in this simple way I have told you, and we will write also in simple way. Now you see this, the further development of pupa into moth continue inside the cocoon. Silk fibers are used for weaving silk cloth. Okay, can you imagine that the soft silk yarn is as strong as a comparable thread of steel? It means it's very that strong fiber, as strong as the thread of steel. The silk yarn is obtained from the cocoon of silk moth. There is a variety of silk moths which look very different from one another, and the silk yarn they yield is different in texture also. Means different variety of silk moths are there, and they produce different types of fibers. Okay, like some fibers are coarse, some smooth, some shiny, etc. Thus Tassar silk, Muga silk, Kosa silk, etc. are obtained from cocoons spun by different types of moths. So different types of moths produces different varieties of silk fiber. The most common silk moth is a mulberry silk moth. It is the most common, and the silk fiber from the cocoon of this moth is a soft, lustrous and elastic. can be dyed in beautiful colors. So this mulberry silk is very soft silk, lustrous and elastic, and it can be dyed in a variety of beautiful colors. Sericulture or culture of silkworms is a very old occupation in India. It produces plenty of silk on a commercial scale. So children, I hope you understood this all about the silk, life history of silk moth. So this life cycle is completed. Now our next, from cocoon to silk. How we get silk from cocoon? For obtaining silk, moths are reared and their cocoons are collected to get silk threads. So what we do? We rear silk moths to get cocoons. Rearing silkworms. A female silk moth lays hundreds of eggs at a time. The eggs are stored carefully on strips of cloth or paper and sold to silkworm farmers. Those who do farming of silkworm, these eggs which are produced by the female silk moth, these eggs are given to silkworm farmers. The farmers keep eggs under hygienic conditions and under suitable conditions of temperature and humidity. Means whatever temperature and humidity decide to is good for their growth, that temperature and humidity these farmers give to that eggs. The eggs are warmed to a suitable temperature for the larvae to hatch from eggs. So after giving temperature, these eggs convert into larvae. This is done when mulberry trees bear a fresh crops of leaves. The larvae called caterpillars or silkworms, as we have already discussed that larvae which hatched from the eggs are also called caterpillars or silkworms. They eat day and night and increase enormously in size. Okay, the larvae are kept in a clean bamboo trays along with freshly chopped mulberry leaves. After 25 to 30 days, the caterpillars stop eating and move to a tiny chamber of bamboo.